Fredric Brown bibliography. The bibliography of American writer Fredric Brown includes short stories, general fiction, mysteries and science fiction stories. Short stories. 1938, The Moon for a Nickel. 1939, The Cheese on Stilts. Blood of the Dragon. There are bloodstains in the alley. Murder at 10:15. 1940, Bloody Murder. The Prehistoric Clue. A Matter of Taste. Trouble in the Teacup, also published as Teacup Trouble. Murder Draws a Crowd. Footprints on the Ceiling. Town Wanted. The Little Green Men. Herbie Rises Hunch. Stranger from Trouble Valley. The Strange Sister Strange. 1941, Fugitive Imposter. The King Comes Home. Ig Toptium. The Discontented Cows. Life on Fire. The League Larceny. Client Unknown. Homicide Sanitarium. You Name in Gold. Here Comes the Hearse. Six Gun Song. Star Spangled Night. Wheels Across the Night. Armageddon. Little Boy Lost. Bullet for Bullet. Listen to the Mockingbird. You'll End Up Beaming. Selling Death Short. 30 Corpses Every Thursday. Trouble Comes Double. Not Yet the End. Number Book. 1942, Gluten Blue. Death is a White Rabbit. 20 Gets You Plenty. Etta and SHRDLU. Little Apple Hard to Peel. Pardon My Ghoulish Laughter. Death in the Darkest /P/ of the Black Dark. Handbook for Homicide. The Incredible Bomber. Twice Killed Cops. Mad Doug. Moon Over Murder. The Star Mouse. A Cat Walks. Who Did I Murder? Murder in Furs. Sweet for Flute and Tommy Gun. Three Cops Parley. A Date to Die. Red is the Hue of Hell. 2 beers for 2. You'll Die Before Dawn. Hid Out of Town. A Little White Lie. Nothing Sinister. The Numberless Shadows. Satan's Search Warrant. Starvationist /P/ a Runaround. Where Are There Smoke? Boner. Legacy of Murder. The New One. The Santa Claus Murders expanded into novel. Murder Can Be Fun, a /P/ a plot for murder. Double Murder. A Fine Night for a Murder. Howl Werewolf. I'll See You at Midnight. The Monkey Angle. Satan 1.5. The Men Who Went Nowhere. 1943, A Lock of Satan's Hair. The Spherical Ghoul. The Wicked Flea. The Angelic Angleworm. Death is a Noise. The Hat Trick. Hound of Hell, a /P/ a Beware of the Dog. The Sleuth from Mars. A Change for the Hearse. Encore for a Killer. Trial by Darkness. Cadavers Don't Make a Fifth Column. Death of a Vampire. Death's Dark Angel. The Freakshow Murders. Mock It for Murder. The Corpse in the Candle. Madman's Holiday. Blue Murder. The Gene Stacks. Telem Pagliaxer. Whispering Death. Daymare. Death Insurance Payment. The Motive Goes Round and Round. Paradox Lost. 1944, The Gin Murder. Murder in Miniature. The Ghost of Riley. The Devil's Woodwinds. And the Gods Laughed. Nothing Serious. The Yehudi Principle. Arena. The Jabberwocky Murders incorporated into novel Night of the Jabberwock. The Ghost Breakers. The Debring Night incorporated into novel Night of the Jabberwock. Murder While You Wait. The Bucket of Gems case of /P/ a Mr. Smith Kicks the Bucket. Slay a Man About a Dog of /P/ a Shaggy Dog Murders. A Matter of Death. 1945, Pie in the Sky. The Night the World Ended. The Waveries. Their Sanctuary. Compliments of a Fiend expanded into novel The Bloody Moonlight. 10 Tickets to Hades, a /P/ a Murder and 10 Easy Lessons. Murder in the Hudson. 1946, Dead Man's Indemnity expanded into novel The Fabulous Cletchant. Placid is a Crazy Place. Song of the Dead. Albert for Orby expanded into novel The Deep End. Whistler's Murder. 1947, A Voice Behind Him. Don't Look Behind You. Miss Darkness. 1948, He'll Cut Your Throat Again, Kathleen. The Dead Ringer expanded into novel The Dead Ringer. 4-letter word, a /P/ the greatest poem ever written. The Four Blind Men. What Mad Universe expanded into novel What Mad Universe. The Laughing Butcher. If Looks Could Kill, a /P/ the Joke. Cry Silence. Red Hot and Hunted. Look. 1949, This Way Out. All Good Bems. Mouse. First published in June 1949 in Thrilling Wonder Stories. A man called Bill Wheeler sees a flying saucer land in Central Park in New York, in which only a dead mass is found. A series of assassinations of world leaders follow, and he begins to suspect that the alien has taken possession of his pet Siamese cat, Beautiful. Murderer Matilda. Come and Go Mad. Last Curtain /p/ Cream of the Jest. Crisis 1999. Each night he died /p/ cane. Letter to a Phoenix, the cat from Siam. The Sinister Mr. Dexter /p/ A House Affair. Deadly Weekend expanded into novel The Screaming Mimi. The Bloody Moonlight condensed from novel The Bloody Moonlight. Gateway to Darkness /p/ A Small World incorporated into novel Rogue in Space. 1950. The Last Train. Death and 9 Lives. The Blind Lead. The Case of the Dancing Sandwiches. The Nose of Don Arstide. Vengeance Unlimited /p/ A Vengeance Fleet. From These Ashes /p/ A Entity Trap. The Undying Ones /p/ Obedience. Walk in the Shadows. The Friendly Floorjills. Gateway to Glory incorporated into novel Rogue in Space. The Last Martian. Honeymoon in Hell. Lecky Rides Again. Night of the Jabberwock Device of a Turtle /p/ A Six-Legged Swengali with Mac Reynolds. 1951 Dark Interlude with Mac Reynolds. Man of Distinction. The Switcheroo. The Weapon published in the anthology The War Book edited by James Sallies, 1969. Cartoonist /p/ Garrigan's Benz with Mac Reynolds. Something Green. The Dome. A Word from Our Sponsor. The Gamblers with Mac Reynolds. The Hatchetman with Mac Reynolds. 1952 Meat and Flapjack and the Martians with Mac Reynolds. 1953 Witness in the Dark. The Pickle Punks expanded into novel Madball. The Wench is Dead expanded into novel The Wench is Dead. The Little Lamb. Rustle of Wings. Hall of Mirrors. 1954 Experiment. Sentry. Two Timer. Keep Out. Martians, Go Home expanded into novel Martians, Go Home. Naturally. Trudeau. Answer. Daisies. Pattern. Politeness. Preposterous. Reconciliation. Search. Sentence. Solipsist. 1955 Blood. Millennium. Premiere of Murder. The Perfect Crime /p/ A Fatal Error. The Letter /p/ A Dead Letter. The First Time Machine. Too Far. Imagine. 1956 Line of Duty expanded into novel The Lenient Beast. 1957 Murder set to music. Expedition. Happy Ending with Mac Reynolds. 1958 The Amy Wagner murder case expanded into novel One for the Road. JC. Unfortunately. Who was that blonde I saw you kill last night? Expanded into novel His Name Was Death. 1959 The Late Lamented expanded into novel The Late Lamented. Nasty. Rope Trick. Night of the Psycho expanded into novel Knock 312. 1960 Abominable. Bare Possibility. The Mind Thing never completed serialization later published as novel The Mind Thing. Recessional. The Power /p/ Rebound. Earthmen Bearing Gifts. Granny's Birthday. The House. 1961 Great Lost discoveries of invisibility. Great Lost discoveries Roman 2 invulnerability. Great Lost discoveries Roman 3 immortality. The Hobbyist. Nightmare in Blue. Nightmare in Grey. Nightmare in Red. Nightmare in Time /p/ At the End. Nightmare in Yellow. Of Time and Eustace Weaver The Short Tappy Lives of East. Weaver I Roman 2 Roman 3 Bright Beard. Cat Burglar. Death on the Mountain. Fish Story. Horse Race. Nightmare in Green. Nightmare in White. The Ring of Hans Carville. Second Chance. Three Little Owls. Before She Kills. 1962 Ailerophobe. Puppet Show. Fatal Facsimile. 1963 Double Standard. Instant novellas /p/ A 20 stories in 60 lines. It Didn't Happen. Tale of the Fleshmonger /p/ A 10%er. The Missing Actor. 1964 Why Benny Why. 1965 Unclean Music with Colonspo. General Fiction. The Office 1958 reprinted by Dennis Macmillan in 1987. Mysteries. The Fabulous Clip Jointy, P. Dutton 1947, Bantam 302, 1948, Edgar Award winner for Best First Novel. 18-year-old Ed hunted Sean's horses with his uncle, carnival pitchman Amber's Hander, to track the person who bludgeoned Ed's father M's brother to death in a dark Chicago alley. Later, Ed and Em opened their own detective agency and are involved regularly in murder. The Dead Ringer E.P. Done in 1948. Bantam 361, 1949. Second Ed and Em Hunter novel Murder Can Be Funny. P. Done in 1948 as a plot for murder. Bantam 735, 1949. The Bloody Moonlight E.P. Done in 1949. Bantam 783, 1950. Third Ed and Em Hunter novel The Screaming Mimi E.P. Done in 1949. Bantam 831, 1950. Compliments of a Fiend E.P. Done in 1950. Bantam 876, 1951. Fourth Ed and Em Hunter novel Here Comes a Candle E.P. Done in 1950. Bantam 943, 1951. Night of the Jabberwocky E.P. Done in 1950. Bantam 990, 1951. Quo/William Moore 1984. Death Has Many Doors E.P. Done in 1951. Bantam 1040, 1952. Fifth Ed and Em Hunter novel The Far Cry E.P. Done in 1951. Bantam 1133, 1952. The Case of the Dancing Sandwiches 1951. Novella We All Kill Grandma E.P. Done in 1952. Bantam 1176. The Deep End E.P. Done in 1952. Bantam 1215. Mostly Murder E.P. Done in 1953. Pennant 59, 1954. Collection Matt Bodell 1953. Fawcett's 1132, 1981. His Name Was Death E.P. Done in 1954. Bantam 1436, 1956. The Wench Is Dead E.P. Done in 1955. Bantam 1565, 1957. The Lenient Beast E.P. Done in 1956. Bantam 1712, 1958. One for the Road E.P. Done in 1958. Bantam 1990, 1959. The Late Lamented E.P. Done in 1959. Bantam 2030, 1960. Sixth Ed and Em Hunter novel Knock 312 E.P. Done in 1959. Bantam at 2135, 1960. The Murders E.P. Done in 1961. Bantam J2587, 1963. 5-Day Nightmare E.P. Done in 1962. Tower 42-502, 1962. Miss S. Murphy's Underpants E.P. Done in 1963. Seventh Ed and Em Hunter novel The Shaggy Dog and Other Murders E.P. Done in 1963. Collection 4 novels 1983. Omnibus of the Fabulous Clitchained. Knock 312, Night of the Jabberwocky, The Screaming Mimi Carnival of Crime 1985, Collection Hunter and Hunted, The Ed and Em Hunter Novels, Part 1 2002, published by Stewart Masters Publishing, Omnibus of the Fabulous Clitchained, The Dead Ruiner, The Bloody Moonlight and Compliments of a Fiend. In 1984, Dennis Macmillan Publications began a series of 19 limited edition books under the title Fredric Brown and the Detective Pulps, collecting most of Brown's uncollected mystery short stories, plus some uncollected science fiction, poetry, and finished novels, and miscellaneous fiction. Homicide Sanitarium 1984, Before She Kills 1984, Madman's Holiday 1984, The Case of the Dancing Sandwiches 1985, The Freak Show Murders 1985, 30 Corpses Every Thursday 1986, Pod and My Ghoulish Laughter 1986, Red as the Hue of Hell 1986, Sex Life on the Planet Mars 1986, Brother Monster 1987, Nightmare in Darkness 1987, Who Was That Blonde I Saw You Kill Last Night 1988, Three Corpses Polly 1988, Selling Death Short 1988, Whispering Death 1989, Happy Ending 1990, The Water Walker 1990, The Gibbering Night 1991, The Pickled Punks 1991. In the final volume, Macmillan discussed Fredric Brown material that was still collected, with particular reference to a column that Brown wrote from 1937 to 1946 called The Proofreader's Page, mentioning that these would take a book in themselves. 20 years later that book was published, including both the columns and a selection of other uncollected fiction, poetry and non-fiction as The Proofreader's Page and Other Uncollected Items 2011, published by Galactic Central Publications. Science fiction. His first science fiction story, Not Yet the End, was published in Captain Future in 1941. What Mad Universe E.P. Done in 1949, Bantam 835, 1950, The Lights in the Sky Are Stars E.P. Done in 1953, Bantam 1285, 1954, also published as Project Jupiter T.V. Boardman 1955, Digit Done 173, 1958, Martians, Go Me, Pete Done in 1955, Bantama 1546, 1956, which was the basis for a 1990 movie of the same name starring Randy Quaid and Margaret Cullen Rogan Spacey, P. Done in 1957, Bantam Mass 1701, 1958, The Mind Thing, Bantam at 2187, 1961. Collections of short stories. Space on My Hands, Shasta 1951, Bantam 1077, 1953, Angels and Spaceships E.P. Done in 1954, also published as Starshine, Bantam 1423, 1956, Honeymoon in Hell, Bantam 1812, 1958, Nightmares and Jeansticks, Bantam J22, 96, 1960, One Day Mislanta 1968, Paradox Lost, and 12 other great science fiction stories. Random House 1973, Berkeley Medallion 1974, The Best of Fredric Brown, Del Rey 1976, edited and introduced by Robert Bloch. Most of his science fiction and fantasy is collected in 2 volumes from Nesfa Press. From these ashes, the complete short SF of Fredric Brown 2001, Motion to Madness 2002.